Well, welcome back to the Vegan Good Life with Miyoko. And last week, this week, next week, maybe even in the future, we're focusing on poor man's meat, tofu, and seeing how many different things we can do with it. It was one of the ways that I went into veganism back in the 1980s. Oh, it was tofu this, tofu that. Tofu went into absolutely everything that I made. And so we're sort of revisiting that. Tofu is still a big part of my life. It's not the only thing I eat, but we're going to pull out some of those old recipes from 20, 30, 40 years ago. And today I'm making a curried eggless salad with tofu, with boiled tofu. So we're going to be treating tofu in a different way every single week. So this is a boiled tofu, which actually creates air pockets and firms up the tofu and removes water. So you get a firmer tofu without it being hard, like the firm tofu that you get in the store is sort of just hard, but doesn't have any bounce. So this way we can create that texture of, shall I say, egg whites that has a little bit of bounce, but it's firmer than just medium tofu and softer than hard tofu. All right, so this is eggless curried salad with figs. Did I mention that it has dried figs in it, which give it a little bit of sweetness and magic, along with some cilantro, some red onions or shallots. This is a lovely egg salad that's perfect as an appetizer on a cracker, on a crostini, or in the middle of a sandwich. So have it any way you like. We're going to get started right away, and we're also going to show you how to make your own homemade mayonnaise in literally 60 seconds. So let's get started. Okay, I'm going to start out by making some homemade mayonnaise. Super, super simple. And to do that, I need about a cup of some sort of oil. I've got some avocado oil in here. I'm adding some olive oil to it. Make it super rich and thick as well, because it's monounsaturated and it firms up in the refrigerator. Okay, I'm going to add a little bit of mustard, maybe about a tablespoon or so, maybe not quite as much. And I'm going to add some lemon juice. So I'm going to squeeze it in here first. I want about a tablespoon, maybe slightly less. Okay, I'm going to add some sea salt, but at the same time I'm going to add just a touch of black salt, which is a sulfured salt, which gives it slightly eggy flavor. That's what we're going to add to the egg salad itself. And now I'm going to mix this up. This is basically just salad dressing. And now I'm going to add some non-dairy milk. This is soy milk. You can add cashew milk or something else as well. Oh, it's beginning to look like mayonnaise. You see that? A little bit more. I think that would be it. I used about a cup of soy milk and about maybe a cup and a half of oil. So it's only about 50% oil. Okay, so imagine how easy it is to make your own mayonnaise like that. It literally comes together in 2 minutes. And gosh, instead of spending all this money on gourmet plant-based mayo, you can just make it at home using a variety of oils. You can flavor it any way you like. You can add herbs to it, a little bit of truffle oil for truffle mayo. If you want it a little bit spicier, you can add some chipotle to it and have chipotle mayo, jalapenos, curry mayo. That's so lovely as well too. You can make one big batch and then flavor them different ways and put them in 5 or 6 different little mason jars, and you've got all these seasonings right at your fingertips. Imagine the liberation that comes from making your own condiments. So just look at that lovely mayo. And this will thicken up even more in the refrigerator. All right, I'm going to slice my tofu, and we're going to put it in boiling water and cook it for 15-20 minutes until it floats to the top. It's going to create little air pockets. It's going to firm this up and make it more like hard-cooked egg whites. This is an ancient Japanese trick. Boiled tofu is used in a bunch of stuff, and the longer you boil it, the more air pockets you get. They actually kind of get holy and they get firmer and firmer. So we have to cook this for about 20 minutes now. They will start to float when they're ready. Looks like the tofu is about ready. It's been cooking for about 15, 20 minutes. You can see that there's little pockets of air, little air pockets that have begun to form. And now we're going to drain this and we're going to let the water ooze out for the next 15 minutes or so. And that is going to firm up the tofu and it will then be ready for our eggless egg salad. The tofu is still draining, but I just changed the paper towels because they were sopping wet, and I'm going to put the other ingredients together for the salad. So I'm going to start out with red onion. I usually use shallots if I have them, but both shallots and red onions are fairly mild, so you can go either way. So I'm going to just finely mince these, make them as small as possible so that we're not biting into huge chunks of onion, but we're getting that onion accent. Okay, get the onions in there. I'm gonna add some cilantro. I just picked these from the garden, this lovely cilantro. You know, there are those people that don't like it. If you don't like it, just don't add it or add some parsley, but I love the cilantro in it. If you can handle coriander seeds, which are basically the same, you can also do that instead of the cilantro. All right, so here's the secret. I've got a little bit of spice coming from the curry powder, and I want to add a little bit of sweetness. So I am adding some chopped dates. Actually, I lied. These are not dates, these are figs. I'm adding some chopped figs. Although, you know, you could do dates if you like. I think that the figs are better. But you could go either way. Figs also sound just more exotic. Gonna add some mustard, some Dijon mustard. I've got some, this is the only curry powder I have. This is Japanese style curry powder, so I want about a tablespoon of that. But you can use madras or any kind of curry powder. You can make your own, that would even be better. I'm gonna add some black salt, which we talked about. Gives an eggy flavor. And you can start with the black salt, then decide if you want to add more additional salt. Okay, now I'm going to start adding the tofu. All right, so my tofu has drained. It's firmed up, as you can see. It has little air pockets in it. And I'm just going to break it up like this. It's firmer than when it came out of the package. Oh yeah, oh that is nice and firm. It's toothsome, that's the word I want. Got a little bit of bite, sort of like boiled egg whites, I guess. So all that water has been removed, which makes it firmer. And it's different from just pressing because the boiling actually opens up the tofu and creates these little air pockets. All right, now I'm going to kind of mash that all up. Now there's something I tried recently that I didn't do today because it was going to be too time consuming, which is that I cooked up and mashed some mung beans to sort of replace the egg yolk part. You know, it's a little bit more starchy, it's yellow in color, and that was really, really lovely. But today we're just concentrating on the white part. And finally, I'm going to add the mayo that we made earlier.
That smells like eggs.
Doesn't it? Mm-hmm. That's the black salt. So maybe about a half a cup of mayonnaise. And this is lovely on crostini as an appetizer. This isn't just a sandwich egg salad, although it could be. But you know, I serve this on crostini, so I take thinly sliced baguette, put it in the oven, crisp it up, maybe a little bit of olive oil, top it with this, a sprig of cilantro, maybe a little bit more fig, maybe some ripe fig, if they're in season in the fall, and you've got a lovely little simple appetizer. Okay, let me go get a cracker so I can taste it. All right, let me give this a taste and see how my eggless egg salad came out. I'm putting it on a cracker made from the pulp of all the nut milks that I've been using for making cheese and things. You can learn how to make that cracker, the no waste pulp cracker, in an earlier episode. Look for the almond joy episode. All right. Almond cow. Not almond joy. I said it again. Almond cow episode. Thank you for the correction. All right. Very tasty. All right, well, see you again next week on another episode of The Vegan Good Life with Miyoko. And be sure to like and subscribe.